What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward and what you should be watching for as time progresses. But let me mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, for Tesla, we have this resistance at 170. We also have support at 168 to 167.5. This is very, very critical for Tesla. Tesla has been getting rejected off this white trend line many, many times. It's showing a little bit of weakness. However, despite that happening, I just want to call out that right here, we're at this critical support, and we'll have to see how things end up moving forward. Because Tesla's trying to hold this, and we'll see if that lasts. Now, as we progress, as time goes on, I want to remind you all that for next week, we have some important data coming out. First, we have a couple of Fed speakers on Monday. On Tuesday, we have the PPI report and Jerome Powell giving a speech. And then for Wednesday, we have the one and only CPI report also coming out. So lots of important stuff comes out for early next week. There's a lot of headlines that talks about in the morning, but Elon Musk is saying that Tesla is going to spend $500 million on superchargers this year. That's once again great news as they're trying to expand their business. They're still trying to continue the growth despite the fact that the entire team got fired. So it is what it is, but always remember that this is not guaranteed to be a permanent thing. This could just be a temporary thing. And once Tesla's in a better state, and once interest rates start dropping, things will be a lot better for them. On top of this, protesters have attempted to storm Tesla's factory. I'm still seeing this all over the headlines. I know a lot of people are saying that this is very ridiculous, but honestly, guys, I'm not going to really comment on that. I want to say this: people did get injured. There was some violence involved, and I really hope that that does not happen or continue this way. I do advocate for peaceful protests only. I don't really like to see anyone get hurt or see anything too crazy. So from what I'm seeing, I'm not really seeing news as of right now that they've gone into the Gigafactory, but I am seeing news that they're trying to kind of like block railway. They're trying to do all sorts of different things, and it's just it's very very crazy. If anything, there's also a lot of them that are kind of like around the factory. So we'll see. The reason they're protesting is because they're in opposition of the expansion of the Tesla Gigafactory in Berlin. Because they believe it's going to have a very negative effect on the environment around the area and damage the water supplies. So that's what they're saying. I respect the right to protest, but I do not support violent protesting, of course. And let's just hope for the best. Let's hope that the whole situation clears up and no one gets too hurt. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see how things go. Anyways, for Tesla, it's very, very simple. We got this little sell off. I said that we might actually pop in the morning. We'll see if we reject or not. If we lost 172, look for a dip down here. The levels played out very, very nicely. So the first thing was trying to hold 172 here, rejected. It didn't just go down to 170, but it actually lost and came down to our next support at 178. This was pretty easy to trade if you actually looked at the levels and just watched how it was performing. So now Tesla, it has 170 as resistance and it's kind of struggling to hold right now above 170. It's kind of weak right now and it's showing a lot of weakness compared to the markets. So Tesla is losing some strength. It's kind of closing this week on a very, very low end as the market closes in just a few minutes. And despite that, it's been on this downtrend, so it's not looking as great. So the best thing we could do is just be kind of patient and open-minded and give this the time it needs. For a few more out there, we have Nvda. Nvidia is trading sideways right now. We have support at 892. We have resistance at 908. If we lose the support right here, we could actually dip lower to fill this gap towards 888. We'll have to see how things go from here moving forward. For a few more out there, we also have SPY. SPY has been pushing nicely. It's great to see it hitting 522.64. But remember, guys, we got the Michigan data today and it wasn't very good. And that's why SPY came all the way down to about 519, a 3 points drop. It dropped more than 3 points. Then it came back up. We're currently shuffling at 520, and we'll see how it goes from here. We still could get a rejection. It could still dip lower because of CPI, because of Jerome Powell's speech, or it could try to break up higher. We'll just have to wait and see. We're still in a decent territory. It's not like we're crashing or anything like that. But my warning for everyone is the fact that SPY is at critical resistance. It loves to reject between 520 and 525. So we'll see if we get a rejection next week or not. But we're not necessarily officially breaking out or kind of like rejecting. We're kind of stuck in the middle for now. Same thing with the QQQ. We're just trading between 441 and 442.25. If you reject, you're going to be looking for a dip all the way down to about 439. If we break this resistance, we could push higher. We're kind of stuck right now. We have a little bearish divergence, so there is a risk of it dipping lower. So we'll just give this a little bit more time. And finally, for Aapl, Aapl has support currently at around this 182 area. We have resistance around, 184. we've been stuck within this range. There is a risk of this actually pushing higher towards 184 again before it continues lower. So that's what I'm seeing. Just a lot of sideways price action, not really a whole lot that's going on. Just to be real quick, Coinbase got rejected off 215. I said we're going to likely test this yesterday, and that was correct. I told you if we broke this, look for a push higher. If we reject, we're going to be dipping. And we got the rejection to dip down to 200, which is, I think it's going to test. If you look at Amazon, there's a little bit of weakness on the charts. We have 190's resistance and support currently at 187. If we lose that, look for 185. There is a risk of this dipping, in my personal opinion. And then Meta is just trading sideways between 478 and then 472 as support. We've been going back and forth, so there's not really a whole lot going on with this. So with that being said, we're just kind of trading sideways. The VIX, on the other hand, is still in the 12s. We have bounced off the 12s many times. We usually don't stay there for a week. This entire year, there's never been a time when we stayed there for longer than a week. So that suggests that the VIX will likely bounce sometime next week or so. So within a week from now, it might just bounce, and that could actually contribute to the market potentially rejecting. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We'll see if SPY gets a rejection or not. Just be open-minded and wait and see what happens with all the data coming out for next week. All right. So Tesla still looking kind of weak, barely holding 168. Let's see if this critical support holds, especially going into next week. And that's going to be key for Tesla. We're testing critical support. Let's hope for the best. And Tesla's a little bit weak because of all this bad news that's been coming out. All right. So I want to give you guys one more warning. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in just about a couple of hours, and peace out.